It's time for another tale from the glass-guarded world. Ashley plays Terradane, the human fighter. Josh is Zartok, the tiefling wizard. And Gaston, the rogue and bard. Jessica is Coral Petrichor, the Genasi druid. Mama Sass, the half-orc bard and barbarian. And Sylphonia, the summoned Pegasus. Chris plays Aster Fortuna, the half-drow rogue and bard extraordinaire. After returning to the gnome village, only to find that all the gnomes had fled through Righty's mirror to Fifeness, the Glass Guardians took a well-deserved rest and debated what to do next. Zartok wants to start spreading the far-off one's magic jars around the inside of the crystal sphere that surrounds the solar system. Everyone else is not really sure what to do. There's a good chance they're going to try to reincarnate poor Gerlos. In a last attempt to resolve their disagreements, they've decided to fly up to see Mun at his orbiting home. Can Mun set them straight, or will he just make the matter even more complicated?
Well, let's pick up where we left off then. Did you want to go ahead and put up that stone wall?
Well, Coral was going to do it, right?
Right, she can stone shape.
So I'm going to... If Coral's with us in the room, so... Coral.
Oh, no.
Oh.
If we're starting off after we had the conversation with Zartok, Coral is not in the room.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You left. You were not
I did.
happy with that. Okay. I think we ended with Tara telling Zartok that it'd be a good idea to, like, apologize or say something to Coral, but Zartok's like, sure, I'll do that, and he's like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
No, I think he just straight up said, no, I'm not going to do that. He didn't even pretend.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So I will leave them to their devices. I'm going to go look for Coral.
Okay.
She didn't make it far. I'm, like, right outside the ship. I assume that conversation happened on the ship. We'll say I'm just right outside the ship.
Hey, Coral.
Hey, Aster.
How you doing?
Fine. I'm fine. What's up?
Nothing. You know, we're getting ready to go off to see Mun. Zartok has agreed to hear out Mun and see what the next steps will be. He seems very adamant that he is going to leave and handle the jars. I know he can be a little straightforward and not that sensitive.
What do you need, Aster?
I wanted to ask if we could stone shape the walls, the pillars, to block off the worlds.
Of course. I'm happy to help you out.
I appreciate it. You don't sound okay, friend. Do you need me? Do you need me to
It sounded like suddenly like Aster's Pegasus.
There's a thin line between southern and country, so sure.
Yeah.
Do you need me to play you a song, Coral? Might calm your nerves.
No, I can do this. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you for the offer, Aster. I am happy to help you out here. Let's go take care of it.
All right. As we're walking, I'm going to say, I don't trust a far-off one either, just so we're clear on that.
I know.
Okay.
I think most of us are clear on that. Just one of us does not seem to be.
He makes a good point, though, Coral. It is a solution. Not a great one.
That's the problem. We've tried bad solutions and none of them have helped. What happens when this woman, this creature, becomes all-powerful and suddenly can do whatever they want? Her and her sisters.
I don't know. But we're running out of options.
I mean, you guys had the idea from the beginning of getting that wand and using it.
That's true.
And I think that's still a valid plan that he seems to have discredited.
I mean, it sounds like he's got a lot in his past. He says he's experienced what had happened out here. We haven't experienced it, or at least I haven't. And maybe he has a past that, he seems like a private person. Maybe this hits closer to home than we really understand.
I mean, sure, but he's part of a group, and he doesn't care. Like, he's not, though. He's part of this group, but he's not. Because a group, a family, they care about what others think. They don't wish people had died. Don't think it would be good if they died.
Yeah, but there's always black sheep in a family.
Yeah, I had black sheep in my family. None of them wished that I had died.
I don't think he wished you died.
He thinks it would have been fine if I had.
You guys really need to talk.
I don't plan to do that.
Well, talking about you, didn't Tara tell you that there was something going on one of the barges? Like, I don't remember the name of it. Kind of like the Sprawl of the Leviathan, where you came from.
Driftwood. That's where I came from.
Yes. Didn't they say you had family there? Something's going on there? Are you worried about that?
I mean, I had family there. We all left.
There's nobody there?
There's people I know, but it's not family.
Okay.
I mean, there's things happening all over the world. It's a terrible place. Bad things happen all the time.
That's true. Either way, I just wanted to make conversation. I'm really thankful that you're with us, Coral. You're invaluable to our team. You are our family.
I'm glad I found you guys. I like being a part of something. I want to help people.
Yeah.
Most people.
Everyone in our group is a family, whether they're 10,000 miles away or 2 seconds from us. And we are going to have disagreements. We can't always be on the same page.
Okay, Aster. You're absolutely right. There's a big difference between having a disagreement over whether we should paint the walls blue or green and whether it would have been all right if somebody died.
I just think he didn't choose his words appropriately. He's not the most emotionally intelligent person that I know. He's smart in other ways.
You are not wrong there. Maybe you're right, but I'm not in a place where I can think rationally about this, so I'm just gonna not mess with it.
No worries. When you feel ready, I'm sure you'll say what you need to say. Either way, I really appreciate you have the ability to make walls out of stone. Very cool.
Oh yeah, it's it's funny. The only reason I know how to do this is because that guy wanted to do a thing. It never happened, but we had talked about a way we could work together. And that's why I have this spell.
You're talking about Zartok, where you guys gonna do a combo spell with walls and stuff?
Yeah, I'm talking about that guy. We were gonna work together. But I guess that's done.
So much salt. Well, we should get at it. I'm not good at this. But I'm trying.
You're not good at having conflict?
Not good at everybody not being okay. You know, Coral, I also struggled when I was young, not having a family. And then I found one. They're on the ship with us. And then you guys came along and you made my family a little bigger. I don't want to lose any of you. But sometimes, when we don't have the same opinion or need to do another decision, we have to know how to let go. And if Zartok chooses to leave us, I'd like to think that we could leave on good terms and you wouldn't have to have this shadow or weight holding you down. Because we do have a mission. I can't have you having this weight on you when critical decisions will be made. I don't want it to affect you.
Well, it sounds like he is leaving soon, so my critical decision making will be fine when I'm not staring at his dumb face.
You're so good, Jessica.
That's pretty good.
Well, all right. I just know that last time when we were in Fifeness, after everything that happened, you were a bit down and you didn't want to share a lot of what was going on. I just, I'm always here if you want to talk about it.
I know, Aster. I appreciate that. I will let you know if I get to a point where I'm ready to talk, but
All right.
it's too fresh right now.
Of course. All right, let's get this done and then head over to Mun.
Okay. Coral cast Wall of Stone. I can make 10 by 10 foot panels, which are 6 inches thick.
Yep, that's easily enough to block up not just the alcove with World 83 in it, but several others if you want.
Yes, I try to make it a pattern, like the one World 83 and the one across from World 83, and then like 4 down, and then, so it looks like these are pillars. This is supposed to be this way.
Right.
It's not
Makes
just
sense.
this one room that's blocked off.
And we
Makes sense.
gotta keep that desert world safe. We have our characters from Pathfinder in there.
Yeah, that desert one means nothing to Coral, so she just does it in a nice pattern. If it works out that way, awesome. But she just makes it make sense.
If I remember correctly, the numbers for each world are in stone above the worlds. Are you going to block those up too? Because otherwise, there's going to be some weird numbering going on.
I mean, I can't block all of them. If I
Right.
could cover the ones that I'm on, I will.
Okay.
But I can't do anything about the other ones, the ones that I'm not hitting.
Makes sense. All right. So you do that. It succeeds. You block up those sections. You cover up the numbers for those sections you've covered up. And it looks, to a casual inspection, like it's supposed to be this way.
Excellent.
So what do you want to do next? Is everyone ready to go talk to Mun?
Dara has a mission.
Uh-oh, what's Tara's mission?
Okay. So the conversation with Zartok ended. Everyone's kind of disappointed with Zartok. We all walk off. Aster goes to talk to Coral. Tara is going to go check on how Silver Eyes is fitting in with the group.
Silver Eyes is being shown around the ship by Lumpin, right? So Lumpin is walking him around, showing him the main cabin, the crew cabin, the captain's cabin, the hold, the deck, and that's it. That's all there is to the ship, right? It's not much of a tour.
Quick tour.
Yeah. And he is familiarizing himself with everything, checking the supplies. He doesn't seem completely comfortable with this little rag golem. And yeah, that's what's going on there. He seems to be settling in okay. And as Tara comes up, he stands up straight and he says, Captain, how you doing? Do I need to salute you or something? What's your protocol here on this ship?
Oh, no, we're not in any sort of military group. But how are you doing? I see you've met Lumpin. I see he's helping you out.
Yeah, this little thing you got here. You let this thing fly the ship, huh?
He's our co-pilot. He does a good job at going straight and steady.
I like to fly straight. All right, then. Well, I suppose that's okay. I gotta confess, I've never been on a ship that wasn't flown by something that wasn't flesh and blood, but I suppose it's fine. Coral trusts it, and I suppose I'll trust it too. What do you want me doing? You want me just sort of floating? You want me to? I could operate the ballista. What you need me doing?
Well, so Mama Sass is she's pretty protective of the ballista, I would say.
Oh.
But
All right, I'll stay
if you
away
want
from
to
that.
assist her with loading it, or if there's any repairs that we need done, then that's kind of the floating positions is either loading the ballista or heading any repairs.
All right, I can surely do that. And you look at the ship; it has been repaired. The crew has been working on fixing it up since you landed.
Yeah,
and it's been fixed up, but it looks rough. I mean, it doesn't look as carefully painted and cleaned and everything as it did when you left the Sprawl of the Leviathan after its upgrades, right? It took a giant hit to the side, It's taken several large boulders to it. It's in rough shape aesthetically, but it'll fly.
Yeah. We have battle scars now. So does Tara.
Right.
Silver Eye,
Yes, ma'am.
vicious.
Yep.
It's a like is his name Vic, and that's like a nickname,
Oh,
and
no,
the way
that's-
someone might call Tara terrible, or
Oh, yeah. His name is Dobbs Durain. But Vicious is his nickname because he wasn't a nice guy, He's a captain of a slaver and pirate ship, So, he had a reputation.
oh,
I wouldn't mess with him before. I'd mess with him now. I mean, I wouldn't mess with him now. It wouldn't be a nice thing to do, But, I mean, he's not scary anymore.
so he was like stealing from his employers.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, that's right. He was one of their crew, captain of one of their crews. And then he decided he wasn't getting paid, I guess. Wasn't getting paid enough. And he took a little bit extra. And the Neogi found out. And, well, you can see the results for yourself.
Oh, okay, yeah. Thanks. Do you happen to know anything about a blue snake gang?
Oh, yeah, I heard of the Blue Snake Gang. Yeah, those are some pirates, or I guess you could also call them mercenaries. Yeah, they got, they're available for hire. Why? Why you ask?
Well, I was just wondering if that was, that dart ship that we picked up, like with the...
Yeah, they got several ships. They got like I think they have like a big galleon, and yeah, that dart ship. I'm pretty sure that's theirs too, and they probably got at least one more.
Okay, that helps.
Why are we hiring? Are we afraid of them? Are they coming after us? What's going on with that?
Well, they have come after us.
Oh,
At least once, right? That's
Okay.
the dart ship.
all right. Yep. All right. So they came after you with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they'll keep coming or, like I told you, this ain't always the safest ship.
Well, ma'am, when you're out on the high seas or flying in the air, it's not a safe living.
Yeah, I've learned that too.
But it's a sailor's life for me. This is what I like to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd be back in Driftwood if that place were a good place to live anymore, but it ain't. So here I am.
What happened to? I mean, I thought the Urbanimars were, just floating cities. What happened there?
Well, here's the thing, here's the thing about the Urbanimars. You can come and go. If you don't like it, you unlash your ship and you go somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could take a whole building if you've got enough boats to support it, and you could go float somewhere else. But yeah, so the thing about Driftwood is that it was a pretty nice place, but this guy came along. They're calling him the boss now. I don't know. I wasn't keeping up with the details prior to this, but this guy came along and he sort of took over, and more and more rules started getting imposed, and then eventually he said people can't leave no more. So at that point, it got pretty unpleasant to live there. Taxes are pretty dang high. Can't run your business the way you want to, Boss wants more and more. I decided to leave. Now, I took the only way I got away was I took a little rowboat in the middle of the night, right? Which, in the middle of the ocean is not a good idea, but it was better than the alternative. Now, I understand the petrichors and some of their crew, they left before it got really bad, which is a smart thing to do. But me, I left a little bit late, and I got away the only way I could. I feel sorry for those folks still there.
And I guess that's how you got caught up in your rowboat?
Yeah, I got picked up by a boat, and I spent a couple years doing, let's say, odd jobs at sea. And then I managed to make those adder cops angry, And here I am.
Adder cops?
The spiders, the Neogi folks.
Oh, I've never heard them called that.
Oh, well, it's a pejorative term.
Oh.
What?
It's a really casual way to say it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for all that info,
Yeah.
Silver Eye.
Sure thing, ma'am.
I'm glad that Tara asked him before doing what she was gonna do. It's good. It's awesome.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anything else I can help you with?
No, I'm just, glad you're able and willing to help us with the ship.
Well, as long as the food is steady and the pay is good, I'm all aboard.
Sounds great.
What is the pay?
We have what we would say is there's a lot of money that we haven't distributed yet.
I like the lot of money part. Can I get a little elaboration on the haven't distributed yet part?
Well, we had discussed pay, and then we just never really figured out what the pay was.
Okay, well that
How much you get paid on your last ship, and how frequently?
Well, I've been doing whatever the Nyogi said, and what I got paid with was not getting killed, and I'm hoping to improve on that arrangement somewhat.
I meant the other one. The
It's been a
odd
while.
job.
Yeah, I guess I could take a couple gold a month.
Is that a good deal?
I mean, we're rolling in gold, basically, so a couple gold will not set us back.
Hey, Garrulus is about to get paid 1,000 gold pieces.
But we'll make him real wealthy.
And on our ship, you don't get paid and you die. So it's like even better.
I mean, Tara still needs to know if he's getting a good deal or not.
I don't
no
know.
idea.
Do you want to make an insight check and see
Yes.
whether he... Okay, make an insight check.
It's time for a market survey.
Is insight wisdom or is it intelligence?
It's
Insight
wisdom.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let me see what my bonus is. Okay. She did great. Just so you know, Tara's still new to this world, so she rolled a 6.
Okay. I'm going to leave you in the same place you started. You don't know if that's a good deal or not.
Okay. Tara agrees. Yep. Couple gold a month. Sounds great.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. And he holds out his hand to shake on it.
Okay. Tara shakes.
He says, so, pay is at the end of the month?
End of the month.
All right. And how often are we in port?
That we don't really have a natural workflow, so it happens and it doesn't happen.
I got to have a
Depending
place
on-
to spend my salary,
Oh yeah, well we definitely stop plenty of times, different places where we are different levels of welcome.
So well put.
He doesn't know how to react to that.
Sure.
All right. Well, we'll see how it goes, and then if it goes badly, I'll assume it's the standard terms. You just let me off at a port, and we'll go our separate ways.
That sounds normal.
Paid on a prorated basis. All right. Fair enough.
Great, glad we finally determined those terms. It's only been, I don't know, like a season.
Now we have to give Ensna and everybody some gold a month.
I mean, the nice thing is with everybody else, they've kind of just been around for a while and just seem okay with just being fed and, saving the world and stuff. This guy's different, though. Actually expects things.
Yeah, well, my worst kind of worker.
We had 100% profit margins until just now.
Yep. Now we're at 99.9.
Not really when we were considering paying 1,000 gold to
Oh, that's true. That's a
reincarnate
big
someone. I feel like that kind of makes you paid for life, right? No, because that's indentured servitude. This is horrible.
Everything is awesome.
Okay. So what's next then?
I think we got to go to Mun.
Yeah.
I do have something I want to say. I forgot the last session. I wanted to talk to that character.
To Silver Eye?
Yep, it's a Silver Eyes.
All right. So Coral and Aster, I suppose, are done with the stone shaping and their discussion, and they return to Corellin's Needle, which is in the dock, the port. And you can see Tara has finished her conversation. I guess she's getting ready for the ship to leave. And Ansna and Mama Sass and Silver Eye are on the deck. The two of you climb up. What do you want to talk about?
Is everybody ready or we're heading out? Everything good? I say to the general group. Silver Eyes.
Ansna says, that seems to be the idea. We are lifting off soon. We've secured poor Gerlos in the hold. Righty's mirror is across from the other mirror in the hallway. And your bird is in the hold as well.
Nice.
And I suppose your Pegasus is here, is on the deck.
Yep. We'll get her in the hold, or she could fly next to us. You know, she likes to be free and go with the wind. You know, because nobody is holding her hostage or anything. I just want to be clear about that. Anyway, Enzna.
Everyone looks at each other awkwardly on the deck.
Mama Sass just looks confused.
Well, Enzna, we're gonna figure this thing out with Gerlos. I know he was your best friend, and so.
He's an idiot.
Yep, our idiot, though. Our idiot.
Yes, I suppose so.
Oh, you must be, Silver Eyes? Is that correct?
Well, sir, they call me Silver Eye, just the singular, although I do suppose I have two of them. That's right.
Ah, Silver Eye. I'm sorry. Are both his eyes silver or just one eye?
Both.
Okay. Why do they call you Silver Eye? May I ask, is it just the eyes?
I suppose so. I didn't make it up. People just started calling me that.
Oh, well, you do
You want
have...
to call me something else?
No. Silver Eye sounds great. Well, you know, it seems rare. I don't think I've ever seen
my name's actually Spalding, if you want to call me Spalding.
Ooh, that's a good name. Spalding.
Or you could call me Mr. Whitley. That'd be fine, too.
Your name is Spalding Whitley?
That's correct.
That's nice. Rolls right off the tongue.
Well, I think so.
Spalding. I like that. Silver Eye sounds cool, like you're a pirate or some kind of adventurer.
Definitely not a pirate. No.
Insight check.
Yeah, that's right. Can I insight check?
Sure. Oh, yeah, your passive insight is high enough.
That was a terrible roll. Mine's awful.
What did you roll?
I got an 8.
And mine is awesome.
Coral, as far as you can tell, he's definitely not a pirate.
Cool.
Aster, he has engaged in some piracy at some point. You're pretty sure.
You like treasure, Silver Eye?
Well, I'm being paid 2 gold a month to work here, so I guess I'm pretty satisfied with this arrangement. That's some decent treasure.
That's good. Okay.
He's going to do an insight check.
I don't know. What do I do?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess. I rolled something. He seems to. He furrows his brow a little bit and looks suspicious.
All right, I'll just let that happen. Well, yeah, 2 golds, awesome. That's what I'd like to make.
They don't pay you. They pay you less than 2 gold.
Well, I don't really see money unless we're using it for something really important, because, you know, we're heroes. We save the world. That is our payment. Making people feel safe. That, and I'm a musician, so that helps a little bit.
All right, well, as long as I'm being paid in gold, you do whatever you want.
Yeah. So, how long have you been, doing side jobs?
Well, I suppose it's probably been, several months since I left, it's been, at this point, it's probably been a year since I left, Driftwood.
Yeah?
And I've been doing odd jobs since then.
And you were caught by the Nyogi, for some reason.
Well, I was caught by some, slavers.
Okay.
And then I did some odd jobs, and then they ended up selling me to some Nyogi, who ended up putting me on one of their ships where I was supposed to, end up like, the other poor guy, poor Vicious.
I see. That must have been terrible for you.
Yes, it being locked in a cell,
Yeah.
and knowing that you're going to slowly be drained of all your life is kind of terrible. I agree.
Super scary. I'm glad we were able to get you out of there. I'm just asking. I just want to get to know you. Is it rare to have eyes like yours?
I suppose if you've got some elven blood, I probably have some in my ancestry somewhere. It's not too unusual to have grayish eyes.
I see. I don't know much about the elves out here. As you can tell, I'm a half drow.
Yeah, it's a little odd. What do you mean out here?
You know, I haven't been to these parts of town, of the world.
Where are you from?
Oh,
Can I come up with a small town that Coral is aware of that she could say? Small, like little.
Sure, just make something up.
Okay. Oh, I'm never good at the on the spot thing.
You got this.
Oh, he's from Westport.
Yep, Westport. God, I'm so scatterbrained when it comes to names. That's why I keep asking you what your name is, because I don't want to forget.
You're having trouble remembering where you're from?
Well, no, I know where I'm from, but you haven't. This is why Captain Terra told you to be careful with joining our crew. We've been through a lot. Sometimes
Inside check.
Darn it! I am trying
Coral,
to
make a deception check.
Can I also give her aid or something?
Yeah, you can give her aid. Maybe she can.
Because I can also
make a roll with advantage.
I have a -2 to deception.
Well, I'm actively trying to defend myself. Can I do an individual
You
roll?
can try 1, 2, or you can aid. Which one do you want to do?
I'm going to do one myself because...
Good call.
Okay, well, in that
I'll
case-
roll straight.
All right.
I've never
Hey.
seen someone quit their job on the first day before.
Same roll. 13?
What am I rolling, by the way?
You're rolling deception.
Okay. That is a 14.
Okay. So Coral, he looks at you a little suspiciously, and Aster, he is, well, you're not sure. You can't read his expression.
Gotcha.
Coral smiles just a little too much.
Well, it's going to be hard out here, Silvereye. I'm not going to lie to you.
So I gotta know, you're from a family of drow then, is that right?
Yeah, but I don't really know much about, like I said, I'm half drow and I was orphaned pretty early on. I actually grew up in a musical troupe. Actually, my Papa Gaston and my Mama Sass are like my family. They're like my parents, kind of.
Mama Sass, who's sitting close to Silvereye, will pat him on the back and say, "Yeah, that's my boy."
So we would just travel around trying to make some gold, playing songs. I'm not too bad.
You're selling yourself short, Aster. You are excellent.
All right, Silvereye is at least playing along.
Okay.
You're not sure how much he buys all this, but he's at least playing along. When you told him that you were orphaned, it seemed to set him a little bit at ease.
Gotcha.
Guys, we might have to end up throwing Silvereye off of the ship when we're at high altitude.
If you guys would stop talking, it'd be fine. But you just keep digging
I'm
the
a
hole.
bard. I'm a bard.
What's the line in North by Northwest? This matter is best disposed of from a great height over water.
Yep.
I'm gonna look at him and say, well, anyway, I just wanted to get to know you, and when you brought up the elf thing, because I'm an orphan, I don't know much about my own culture, and if you have some, it sounds like you may have some elf in you, maybe?
Well, it's in my distant past. I'm not even half. It's got to be somewhere back. I mean, I don't know much about my family line either. I wasn't an orphan, but my family doesn't trace their history back far. You know, it's family relationships on the sea. They're somewhat flexible. So, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, the drow have a reputation out here, as you say, out here, whatever that means. And
It's just a term.
Yeah, they, well, you seem real nice for being half drow. I'll put it that way.
Well, I appreciate that. Anyway, I hope you're liking your stay here. I hope Captain Terra has set you straight. It really is a benefit to have somebody new. I just wanted to get to know you because it happened so quickly. All I did was open your cell and then here you are. I'm surprised that you would want to be with a group that faces such dangers.
Well, right now I don't have a lot of alternative. I suppose I might get off at another port if and I don't like it too much.
Okay.
But
Well-
for now, you're paying me. I'm working. It's a good arrangement.
Gotcha. Glad to have you on board, Silver. Oh, no. Spalding Whitley.
He winks at you.
All right.
That's my name.
Don't wear it out. I got it. I will let you continue your thing. And as I walk away to myself, I'll just mutter, he seems all right.
You go inside the the ship's ready to take off. Lumpin's in the helm. You've got one mirror across from the other, and the magic mirror is sort of talking to itself. Oh, aren't you lovely? Look at that.
Oh, we brought love to the mirrors.
I think he's talking to himself.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would make sense.
That's
Yeah.
right.
He's seeing himself in the mirror, yeah.
I mean, still brought love.
Like I can see
Self-love.
forever looking into you. So, are you ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else anyone needs to do?
I'm gonna feed my bird.
All right. Rah! Glass Guardians.
I forgot some of the terms. You said like
Yep.
kill them all, stuff like that, right?
Murder. Glass Guardians.
Oh, Spalding's gonna like you,
I'll
Alucard.
kill all of them.
So good to see you. That's
All
it.
right. And what is Zartok doing? Is he ready to go as well?
Yes, Zartok's ready.
Coral will refuse to be in any room that has Zartok.
Well,
She
Zartok's
will-
on his other ship.
I thought he was
Oh, is
going
he going
to
with you?
remote pilot.
He's supposed to remote pilot.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're remote piloting the Lance ship, the Fang, while Lumpin pilots Corellin's Needle, right? So both ships are going up together, but you're on Corellin's Needle. That's what you're doing?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Your ship lifts off. It lifts out of the Spelljammer port, piloted by Lumpin, followed closely by the Fang, piloted remotely by Zartok. Both ships fly straight up out of the atmosphere. You have to clear the atmosphere before spotting the flat disk that is the Moonstone. And we're not going to do any encounters or anything. We're just going to go straight there.
We fast traveled, you guys. We did it. We broke Mike.
Hooray.
Unless you want to. Unless someone wants to roll a d6.
That's up to the group.
Nah, we unlock fast travel. Let's use it.
All right.
No, Tara's having a, distressed thinking montage in her room.
Is there a lot of
Distressed
pacing?
Thinking.
Yeah, just a lot of pacing, cradling her head in agony. Just so stressful.
Oh, dear.
Do you have a 10 intelligence now?
She has a worse than 10 intelligence.
I see. So the overthinking must be hard.
Yeah, it's a 7 intelligence. That's what, it's a distressed thinking montage.
So you approach the Moonstone. The landing pad still has that squid-like Spelljammer parked on it, but as you approach, you see there are small shapes climbing all over it. Rag golems. They're hammering, sanding, painting, just relentlessly. As you approach, the bubble of air surrounding each ship merges with the bubble surrounding the Moonstone, and you smell the flowers and trees that Tuck and Raphael Cruz have carefully tended. There's room for both ships on the landing pad, and as you set down, one of the rag golems climbs down from the other Spelljammer and walks toward Corellin's Needle. It waits patiently as you climb down the ladder. Who's climbing down?
Terrible.
Tara,
Aster.
Aster.
Is Zartok going?
I guess he has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's forced to.
Coral stays. Mama Sass goes.
Okay.
Dang it, Coral.
Yeah, I guess Lumpa will stay too. As you climb down the ladder and begin walking toward this rag golem, which is apparently waiting for you, it doesn't say anything. It just turns around and begins walking down the pathway toward Mun's tower. And it gestures over its shoulder for you to follow.
Hi.
It stops and it just looks at you and waits for you to come forward.
Do you not talk? I've met more, chatty rag golems.
It just stares at you.
Seems like Bun didn't want to deal with their chattiness anymore.
I guess he's got enough from Tuck and Raphael Cruz. I don't know. This seems like a really depressing edition. I like it more talking.
Agreed.
I'm glad we have Lumpin.
Yeah, we got the good one.
I love Lumpin.
Yeah.
As you approach, it turns around and begins walking down the path.
Oh, it's way creepier this way.
And you pass the same statues as before, each somehow depicting a different Mun. And just before the tower, there's a new statue. It's your Mun, a suit of armor. And the plaque below it says, Mun the Immortal. And the rag golem silently walks up to the doors and just stands there.
Wow, you guys built this so quickly. Very efficient.
No response.
So weird.
Now, this rag golem is like a foot tall, right? So it's just standing there by the doors.
Mama Sass will open the doors.
You open the doors. You can see into the entry hall. It has been freshly dusted and cleaned. It has a clean new rug. There are magical candles glowing warmly. The golem gestures for you to continue inside, and then wheels around and walks back down the steps toward the Spelljammer.
Thanks, little guy.
So you can see the entry hall here. What do you want to do?
Find Mun.
Okay. So you walk in through the doors. There's another room here, sort of an antechamber, and it's also devoid of people. But you know from your previous visit, the next room is the main hall. So I'm going to assume you continue on into the main hall, and you find Mun standing there at the foot of a spiral staircase, sort of staring into a book. And as you approach, he closes the book, and he looks up. He says, "Welcome, friends, or rather, welcome, Glass Guardians. Your exploits are getting some attention. Is this a friendly visit or serious business?"
Well, always friendly and unfortunately always serious lately too.
Then let us go to the meeting room. And Mun walks toward the doors behind him, and a green torch by the doors lights itself and the doors open. The room beyond has a long table with comfortable chairs, bar stools, some tables with glasses and pitchers of water, and there's also a large wine rack. And Mun seats himself at one end of the table, and two rag golems appear from somewhere with napkins over their arms. "Please, make yourselves comfortable. The golems can get you a drink if you wish. What can I help you with?"
Tara takes a seat.
Mama Sass sits and props her feet up on the table.
I just sit down.
Zartok?
Yeah, Zartok will take a seat.
The rag golems sort of totter over to you and look at you expectantly, each of you.
Oh,
You got any ale?
The little rag golem walks over to the wine rack, looks around, and then walks back toward you and looks at you expectantly again.
Wine's fine.
All right. It goes and gets you some wine.
Yeah,
Some non-specific wine.
I'd like rum.
One of the rag golems walks over to the wine rack, looks at it, walks back to you, and stares at you.
Oh,
I think you might have to do wine.
wine? Can I get a Marlowe?
All right. The rag golem walks over to the wine rack, looks around, grabs a bottle, and brings you back a glass of Merlot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A dry red.
All right. The rag golem walks over to the wine rack, pulls out a glass of red wine, and pours you a glass and brings it over to you. Zartok?
Nothing for me, thanks.
All right. The rag golem walks over to the pitcher of water and pours you a glass of water and then brings you the glass of water.
Thank you. I
And
asked
then-
for nothing.
They go stand over by the wall.
I don't like your silent lumpins. I think they were much improved when they were, friendly and sociable.
Oh, no. I can't have them developing all that personality and independent thinking. Can't have that. It's too much. It's messy to deal with in the end. I much prefer them this way.
Oh, too much bickering, huh?
Well, they did sometimes, I won't say argue, but sometimes disagree with each other. And occasionally they might disagree with me. Also, they tended to get wild ideas in their head about things they might want to do. And frankly, I have too many things that I want them to do. And so my newer golems have, well, they're simpler.
He's lobotomized them.
I won't even begin to tell you what sort of problems I started to encounter with the ones in World 83. It's quite ridiculous.
I think
Well-
of Gru and the minions when he's describing this.
I think Ashley knows things that Tara doesn't about the rag
for
golems.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little. It's a touch creepy now, but that's way beside our
Well,
point.
remember that, usually I have Tuck and Raphael Cruz here to keep me company if I need to talk to someone. For the moment, I've sent them down to Jebber Orb to find some more Ettins. I think they were a bit lonely. So I've sent them to find some friends. But yes, usually I have them to talk to.
Where does someone find Ettins?
Well, there are areas of wilderness where I'm sure they'll have great success. It's just a matter of them finding someone who is compatible with their particular unique personality traits.
Okay. I wish that I hope that there's a side quest, of like Tuck and Raphael Cruz go find love.
I would love to do that, or even just friends.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be fun.
but it's very off base. So she's gonna try and pivot this conversation back to the topic. Yeah. So we were talking through Lumpin with the messages, but I kind of felt like we needed more of an in-depth, in-person conversation. We definitely want to move World 83, but we don't know where to move. Like, we were thinking we could put it up here, but I didn't know if you had another place, and also, how to move it without, making everybody fall over or something.
Ooh, that is a tricky topic. Well, I think the wizards of the mountain, those fellows in the research facility, I think they did consider trying to evacuate people to another plane or another world using a gate or teleporter. This is impractical, however. Moving so many people in such a manner does not scale well, and many would refuse to go. The same goes for loading people on spelljammers and flying them away. It would take too many ships. Such an exodus is simply impractical. Your idea is intriguing, however. I think the glass worlds were intended to be metaphorical lifeboats, but you're proposing making World 83 into an almost literal lifeboat. Doing this would be very difficult. The world would have to be moved, the entire world with its water filtration and pump system intact, as well as the time controller. You'd have to move it with a minimum of disturbance, and keep it that way on a long trip. And yes, there's a matter of where to take it. Yes, it might be safe temporarily here, but I am only one extremely powerful wizard. If there were some sort of attack, I'm not certain that I could protect it. And I suppose you could take it to some other crystal sphere. You could take it outside of this system altogether. But other crystal spheres are outside my area of expertise. I suppose you could go to Toril. There seems to be a new crisis on that world every few years, but none of them have to do with magic-induced overheating, and they don't usually involve the death of most of the world's population, so that would be an improvement. I do have a few contacts there if you decided to go there. There's O-Earth in Gray Space, but I really know very little about that. I'm sure there are countless unexplored worlds you might eventually take World 83 to. One might be suitably habitable and lightly inhabited, or even uninhabited. The trick, however, is to find it quickly. You cannot afford to fly around, possibly for years, with this fragile world, hoping that nothing disturbs your search.
So, if I'm hearing you right, you think people are not going to evacuate the world, or at least not everyone would willingly evacuate the world.
The world down below, yes. Jebber.
Oh, I meant World 83, okay.
Oh,
Gotcha.
I suspect you could get people there to explore a new place.
Yeah.
Especially if they could come and go freely. I think that would probably be fine.
But obviously not here, because this is,
Well, first of all, there's no room for them to exit and then settle on my Moonstone. It's not large enough.
Oh, no, I meant like the Jebber orb.
Oh, well,
It's also not
you'd have
really
the problem of just you'd be recreating the original problem, wouldn't you? They would be outside of World 83, casting all those spells, creating all that heat. Ideally, you would take them somewhere where magic doesn't work the way it does here.
Okay, now I'm understanding what you meant by your message. Yeah, okay. So yeah. Speaking of this world and, all of its problems and trying to fix those, do you know anything about the far-off one?
Ooh. Yes, well, what about the far-off one? I mean, what do you want to know?
Well, she proposed an option to fix the world,
Really?
but we are dubious to trust her, as are all the other gods.
I think that is an appropriate reaction. Would you mind explaining her plan?
Well, and I don't know if this gets into all the technicalities, but essentially, it's to turn arcane magic into something that requires prayer to use. And the prayers obviously would go to her as the goddess of magic.
How could such a thing be accomplished?
Well, she has a method.
Well, yes, but what is it? What does she want? How does she propose to make this occur?
She has some little, what's funny is, it's glass jars. She has these little glass jars she wants you to put all around the world.
How ironic. Oh. Yes. So what about them? Do you have any of these glass jars here?
Well, yeah, we got some on the ship.
Really? Could I inspect one?
Yes.
Zartok reaches into his jacket and pulls one out.
He just
Puts it on the table.
Really? And a pearl appears from somewhere, and Mun begins casting a spell, and he examines this jar.
I know this spell. It's so exciting. Sarah says that out loud.
Yeah, he doesn't have any eyebrows to raise at you, but if he could, he would have one eyebrow raised.
Pearls have been very important to us.
Fascinating and clever. I suppose we shouldn't expect anything less from her. Yes, this will do as she says. It seems that if she were to scatter these around the inside of the crystal sphere, the entire web of arcane magic would be converted to divine magic, and every arcane spellcaster will have to pray for spells like a cleric. If there's any heat, it would be produced at the point of the jars and dissipated harmlessly into wild space. Yes. I think that would work. This will, of course, make me and all the other spellcasters, arcane spellcasters, unwilling devotees of the goddess.
If you want to cast spells.
It will enormously enhance her power. I'm not sure what else it gets her, though. This power cannot be used for anything but granting the prayers of her worshippers, which in this case means granting magical spells. What is her angle?
Well, and our friend didn't come with us, but after she proposed this to us, our Coral, who was kind of most opposed to this situation, said that she had a dream where the far-off one tried to kill her.
Really?
Well, maybe not the far-off one specifically.
I'm pretty sure it was definitely the far-off one.
I thought there were some sisters involved and a thread or something.
I think they're all the far-off one.
Oh.
Thank you. Finally, somebody said it. I haven't been around for it. Sorry, go ahead.
That could be. I'm not sure.
Well, I've never met her, and I don't plan to. And, frankly, I find her mysterious and untrustworthy. However, this plan would do as she says. Perhaps it could have a long-run impact, creating a system of worshippers and temples. It also raises the cost to the arcane caster of preparing spells, so I would expect there would be fewer of us. Think of it this way. She'll create a sort of bottleneck effect. Now, all arcane spells must go through her, and she gets to decide when those spells are granted and when they are not. There's power in being able to say no. There may be another effect. Even people who could never hope to cast a spell might start praying to her as well. The other gods probably won't be happy about that, though I don't see how they can stop her unless they send someone out to stop you. That's assuming they're even aware of this, of course.
Well, I wouldn't say they had a solution. They also just said, instead of helping her, we should get people to pray to them. But honestly, I didn't like the god I spoke with either.
Well, yes, they are powerless to stop the overheating. Yes, all they could do, the best they could hope for, is to receive more prayers and hand out more favors in return. They could relieve suffering, but they can't do anything about the overheating. It's an interesting proposal, though. I'm not sure if I support it or not. Clearly, people are casting too many arcane spells, but I worry that this would go too far in the other direction, but it would stop the overheating.
Would divine magic? I mean, it's not like in the past we knew that arcane or you here in Jebberorb knew arcane magic did this. It started.
No, we knew.
You knew from the
we
beginning?
Most certainly knew, yes. But there was nothing to be done about it.
I see. And as far as we know, divine magic doesn't have this effect at all.
Correct. It's a different thing altogether. You see, it's a symbiotic relationship between gods and mortals.
So when you say there was nothing to be done about it, you mean that, and like collectively everyone wasn't going to agree to not cast their spells. This would be a way to force people to stop casting their spells.
Or reduce them, yes. Or really, they could cast spells as much as they like, as long as the far-off one approves it, but they wouldn't produce heat.
What about the wand? The wand that Lavarian has?
I confess I've not been following events down there closely. What is that fellow up to?
Well, I guess he's trying to attack the Nyogi, take back some island that they live on or something. I don't know, but he has the wand.
I know he's got an army and they're conquering cities in Gemigan, but I don't understand really what his goal is. He wants to conquer what? Where is he going? Have you determined this?
The far-off one said he wanted to take back, I don't know the city's name, but it's where the Nyogi slavers are, the kind of like spider people. And
Arta Laravella?
Tara's trying to mime what they look like.
Ah, yes, Arta Laravella, yes, the old capital of the Ragged Empire. I suppose if he wanted to get rid of the Nyogi, that would be the only place to go, but that sounds like a good thing. I understand he left those creatures to try to kill you, and that's clearly not a very friendly action. But don't you want him to get rid of the Nyogi?
I'm definitely pro someone getting rid of the Nyogi, but he did lie to us and then take that wand and fly off. You know, he said he was going to fix the whole overheating problem with it, and he didn't.
Yes, perhaps he isn't to be trusted with that wand. In fact, maybe no person should be. Artifacts like that possess so much potential for ruin that I'm not sure it's worth whatever benefits they might provide. Suppose, for example, that you intended to use it to cool the world. Can you guarantee that you'll be around to do that, now and forever, and that it would never fall into the wrong hands? Not even I can make that promise.
But you're immortal.
I could live forever. I'm not unkillable.
Could a god take possession of the wand? Like the Seafoam Wanderer? Someone that seems to be a good god? And
I suppose you could do that. You could try to give the wand over to a supernatural power and hope that they use it for good.
That's an option. Also, why is it that only the far-off one would benefit from the change of arcane to divine? Couldn't it be split among all the gods?
Why would she share those prayers?
Well, isn't there anything we could do to adjust whatever enchantments or magic she's placed on these jars, so that instead of siphoning magic only or funneling it only through her, it's funneled through all the gods instead?
Mun walks over, he places a hand on your shoulder and says, "My friend, I am flattered, truly I am, that you believe that I could alter this god's magic in such a way."
Well, you're Mun the Mighty.
He's Mun the Immortal.
This is beyond me. I would not meddle in how these jars were made. Who knows what consequences that could have.
I see. But you're saying a godlike figure might be able to manipulate these jars?
Oh, I wouldn't trust anyone but another god of magic to meddle with these.
I see. Okay.
Perhaps you could take these jars to a different crystal sphere and somehow contact the god of magic in that realm and persuade them, no, that's ridiculous. That's just plain silly.
Sounds like our plan.
Sounds like what we're doing.
Oh, Bud says it's silly. Let's do it.
No, frankly, that's ridiculous. You're not even from their realm. Why would they help you? It doesn't make any sense at all. No.
All right, just spitballing. Maybe Seafoam Wanderer could adjust the jars.
Oh, you poor soul. No, she's
She's the goddess of love, Master.
Precisely. I think at best she could adjust them to influence the romantics of the world, and that's about all we could hope for.
I see. Well, I have her on my face. And
Yes, I see
I think we
that.
can all
Yes.
I'm sorry, hold on.
I can see you're a big fan.
Yeah, she's great.
Yes, she's wonderful, but saving the world and influencing very carefully designed magical devices are perhaps not within her realm of expertise. Tiefling, Mr. What's your name again? Zartok. You've been very quiet. What do you think about all this?
I think it's all very interesting.
What a wonderfully evasive answer. Could you elaborate?
I just think that it's, yeah.
Zartok wants to help the far off one.
I can't say it's a poor idea. It sounds like it would work. I just fear what the long-term consequences would be. Then again, we already know the long-term consequences of not doing something.
Zartok's nodding.
It's true.
There's no like god of climate, weather.
Well, I
Cold.
suppose the Skyfather is in some sense, a god of weather.
Ugh, not him.
But weather and climate are not the same thing, of course. I suppose you could ask the renowned artificer if perhaps he could take a look. If you were to ask one of the gods to look at these jars, he would be the fellow.
What's that one?
Well, he's a god of the forge and crafting and making of clever devices.
Oh, but not like a god of making things hot.
Well, he does work over a forge, I suppose, or he did. But no, I would say not. He's not a god of heat, no.
Okay, no, and there's no god of blizzards.
No.
Inconvenient.
It's kind of sounding like our choice is to find a god who could help us with these jars, or get the wand and have someone we trust, a godlike figure, rule the world forever, and hope that they don't abuse that power, or just follow the far-off one's plan and make her the absolute power. But I feel like absolute power
The
corrupts...
absolute power of arcane magic.
Yeah, well, absolute power corrupts absolutely, is a term I've heard before.
Sure, and the same would be true of giving the wand to the goddess of love, for example.
But it's all about love, man. And it would... Oh, you're right. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying to find a solution that will work. The only one that sounds doable is the far-off one. I can't even blame Zartok for having this as his proposal. It's just so hard to trust someone who feels and acts so mischievous and right down kind of evil, a little bit. I just don't know if that's... I don't know.
Well, in the end, you've got to decide. Do you want to trust someone who says that they're doing something because it's in their own interests and in your interests? Or do you want to trust someone who says they're doing what's for the common good and they're not thinking about what's best for themselves? Who do you trust more?
That's a good question.
That's it.
Just me.
Yeah, I'd trust that second one better. Common good. Let's do for the good.
Is there a way to kill a god?
Well, I suppose there would be, yes. Gods can't die through lack of worship. Or if you find them on their home plane and defeat them and actually kill them, which would be an incredibly difficult task, then yes, you could kill a god.
So the idea here is that if we do this, all the other gods will die because no one will pray to them anymore?
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, that's a leap, Aster. Just because you can't cast arcane magic without praying to the far off one, does that mean that you would not pray to the Simfo Wanderer anymore?
That's true. I don't hate the idea. She would just be the strongest of these gods, but I don't really understand the religious or holy aspects of gods that well. I don't know how that affects the balance, but they don't really seem to be doing anything, and the far-off one has a solution.
Well, I'll tell you, if you were interested in finding another place to take World 83, a safe place, I could help you with that somewhat, if you decide to pursue that course.
How so?
Well, if you wanted to swap one of your ships, I noticed that you brought 2. If you were to swap one of them, if you wanted, I could let you have the squid ship that's parked out on the landing pad. The larger, more stable ship. You might need more crew for it, but that would be an option. I could also, if you wished, teleport you to another world, if it's a place that I've been before, so that you could scout it out, so to speak. You'd have to keep in mind, I can't teleport World 83. It is planar locked. You are going to have to move it the old-fashioned way. Where the old-fashioned way means pick up the magical world, put it on a magical flying ship, and fly it through wild space, out of a crystal sphere, into the phlogiston, and into another crystal sphere, onto another world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a little bit complicated.
Yes.
Zartok. Actually, I feel like I should have some of this knowledge. Do we know that all arcane, to stop the arcane heating, they put a lot of the arcane casters in the jars, right? So the people who are currently in Dreborb, there shouldn't be that many casters, correct?
That's true that a lot of them were put into the jar, and also population is down from where it used to be because there was flooding, right? So there are fewer arcane casters than there used to be, but that's partly because the population has been reduced overall. There's fewer of everybody than there used to be.
I see. I'm wondering, Mun, you're saying that there might be other worlds that don't work under the same system? Like another...
Yes, this crystal sphere that you're inhabiting, this area called Jebberguden space, this area that we're in now, where this world is orbiting the sun and there are other worlds slightly beyond. If you were to leave this crystal sphere, outside the crystal sphere that surrounds this solar system, there is a floating, flammable rainbow ocean. And that ocean is where this crystal sphere floats. And beyond that, there are other crystal spheres, and each crystal sphere has its own gods and rules and so on. And in every one that I've ever heard of, arcane magic does not work the way that it does here.
I see. What do you think about that, Zartok?
About what? You just Dave Vex.
About all those who practice arcane magic, if we could get them to a different world, using the same mechanisms as World 83, it wouldn't be that invasive to a new world if they all live.
Hold on there. Stop. How are you going to get everyone to go?
I don't know.
The nice thing about taking World 83 is that you would save the people in that world, and they wouldn't have to worry about overheating anymore, right?
But what about the people here?
That, yes. Moving World 83 would save the people that we know and love inside, but it would not do anything for the people down below.
I see.
I understand that, that there's a solution for getting people in World 83 somewhere better, but I feel obligated to help this world. And also, I don't know, just kind of moving our glass jar world seems... I really want to protect it while we try and fix this world. That was kind of what I was thinking more of, Aster.
I see.
And Mun, for that matter.
Yes, I see. Well, you will still have to decide what to do about World 83. We will have to decide what to do about it. Suppose you do execute the far-off one's plan. What will you do about World 83 then? Will you simply open it and let people come and go as they please? That's possibly an attractive option, or will you keep it closed and somehow monitor it?
I would say that people should be able to leave if they want or stay if they want. It's not a bad world if we kept it safe.
That seems reasonable. Well, any other thoughts? Any other questions?
Oh, many other questions, but I don't know that you can. You have the same questions about the far off one. I mean, I get that she has a plan. And the plan seems like it's going to work, but that she tried to kill our friend, or that our friend had a really weird dream. But she says that she, it's like not just a dream, that someone actually came into her dream to try and kill her.
I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm afraid I cannot offer any advice there.
I can give some feedback there. Quirrell's not here, but our friend,
This is important. Why is she not here?
Disagreements amongst our crew.
Well, yes, you're all clearly disagreeing with each other, and yet you're here. Why is she not here?
I don't know.
She's mad about Zartok wanting to help the far off one since the far off one tried to kill her.
Yeah.
Well, I can certainly understand that. However, perhaps when we are deciding the fate of the world, perhaps we put these things aside and discuss these matters like adults.
Yeah. How did that work when, you were talking to all your lumpins about their disagreements?
Well, their disagreements weren't of world-shattering importance, and they were annoying. So I took care of that.
Why do you think the far-off one would have tried to kill Quirrell?
I really do not know. I don't understand the circumstances. I don't understand why she's not dead if the far-off one did try to kill her.
Did Quirrell tell us about her dream and who came and all that?
I believe so.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like, I don't know if you remember.
There was this other god that we killed that tried to protect her.
No. We didn't kill the other god.
Oh, sorry. There's this other god that we saved that tried to protect her.
Don't spread that rumor. We tried so hard to stop that rumor.
We didn't kill a god. He sacrificed himself to protect his people.
Yes. The gnome fellow, the
God King.
God King. Yes. I've heard of this. Yes, your exploits have. Some people have been discussing you.
Well, that particular God King.
In positive ways, right?
Well, the word is that you killed the God King. However, you're telling me that you did not.
No, he saved his people, and then he saved Quirrell against the far-off one. Something about a thread, and then he protected that from being cut.
I see. I think perhaps I ought to have a chat with Coral.
I think that'd be nice.
Would you like to wait here? I'll be back. I'll be back shortly.
Sure.
Coral, you're sitting somewhere on Corellin's needle, and Mun suddenly appears there.
Ah!
And we'll hear their conversation next time.
Oh no, one's gonna attack her.
Oh, Mike, I'm recording in stereo. Sorry.
For shame. So I've been going through Coral spells just out of curiosity, because I can. I saw one that I was like, I could do that to Zartok. I'm not going to, which is why I'm saying it here.
What the heck?
It's Gaius.
Nice.
I actually love that, but okay.
I don't think Coral would be willing to take away his free will.
I'll go with you.
Mun disappears.
Oh, dang. She's upset.
I'm so confused. I don't know what to do, guys. I have no idea why you're making this so hard, Mike. I don't know what to
All
do.
the options are bad.
All the options are bad.
Do you want me to give you a big monster to punch?
Yes, please.
Would that be better? Big monster to punch.
Monsters to punch.
I'm the climate monster.
A big Nazi monster.
I'm the Nazi climate
There we
monster.
go. Now we got it. Now we're all in agreement.
If you punch
Easy.
me, I'll have to stop messing up the climate.